Welcome to Divisive Issues, a comic book podcast where we talk about comic books. I'm Ryan Lynch.
I'm Sly Crappo.
I'm Phil Maverickus.
I'm Darryl Steffen.
And I'm Liz Steffen.
Two Steffens!
Two Steffens too many.
Too many Steffens on the dance floor.
We'd leave if we could.
Obviously, we're making Liz...
We've captured another one.
Liz is very welcome.
We've changed the narrative from us capturing them or from them staying here to now we're capturing them.
We mean we revealed our actual motive.
Yeah.
Tomato, right, guys?
We've been yelling at Darryl, why won't you leave? But he's tied up in the corner.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying all along. And now you took my sister? You come into my house.
So even though this is not a special edition, we have a guest star because she wanted to be on this. And she recommended it, so there we go.
Did she want to be on
Who
this?
would want to be on this?
I mean, somewhat.
No one gets on this show willingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All our guest stars are in our basement. We're just waiting for them to...
Yeah, and we got better chains since Joe escaped.
Yeah.
So what are we doing, Sly?
We're doing Archie versus Predator. And the premise is Archie versus Predator.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
The target audience is, if you want to see Archie versus Predator, read this.
Yeah, it's quite like the name's on the tin. Or whatever that saying is.
How many of you guys have read Archie before?
I have never read Archie before.
I haven't either.
I have read a lot. Books and
Thank God.
books.
That's why you're here.
So,
Resident Archie expert.
yeah, our resident Archie... Shit.
I read Archie shithead.
Wait, Sly, have you read Archie?
Yeah, I was going to say...
Fucking, is there anything you don't know, Sly?
I know everything. But I know Archie because when I was growing up, I love comics, but
Oh, just when you were growing up.
I hate them now, obviously, after doing this podcast and reading Nemesis and shit like that. So, but back when I was naive and thought comics were still good, I wanted to read comics, but none of my family knew where comic shops were or anything. So, but Archie was always in grocery store, so whenever they saw Archie, they would give it to me. So, I had a shit ton of Archies in my closet, just...
Yeah, the double digest.
Sly was in the closet, and then he's like, I gotta go over the other comics.
That's where he learned how to keep guests locked up in closets. He practiced with Archie.
When did we... Okay, wait.
Is Archie any good?
Yeah, I mean, it's good in a really campy way, if that's what you're into.
Sell me on Archie, because I've always been like, oh, it's that comic at the grocery store.
It's a bunch of teenagers hanging out in high school and they go to a diner and ride around in a jalopy and just have fun.
So is it... I've always looked at it as the 50s stuff of Back to the Future. Is that what it's like?
Yeah, that is that's a pretty good way to describe it. And
What do they do on their adventures?
wacky shenanigans.
yeah, they just hijinks is a pretty key buzzword.
Archie is interesting because, like you said, it reminds me of the 1950s because it's pretty much been stagnant since the 1950s for a long time. The guy who created the art style, Dan DeCarlo, they've been using his art style for 50 years plus and never changing it. And even the humor is pretty much the same style as it was in the 50s. And it's only recently that they really started playing around with the Archie license. They have... in Life of Archie, they had Archie get assassinated. In After the Life of Archie, they had everyone in Riverdale turn to zombies. And now they have this book come out, which is Archie vs. Predator.
When did this come out?
Last year, I think.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, last year.
I did not think it was recent.
We're on the cutting edge of Archie media right now.
This is. I think this is the most recent comic we've done.
It is.
Jeez.
Of course, this is when we're updated on Archie comics.
Yeah. So the way they describe it in the header of issue 1 is Archie is lovable, maladroit, mischievous, America's favorite teen, and Predator is silent, invisible, invincible, the galaxy's deadliest hunter. I guess that basically sets it up.
And just in case people don't know who Predator is, I don't know why you wouldn't, but
I've never seen any Predator movies.
Yeah, fuck off if you don't know who Predator is.
You haven't seen any Predators?
No.
You only need to see one, Predator.
I've never seen any.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
So Predator is about an alien from space who hunts people, and the dangerous green man. And the first movie was Arnold Schwarzenegger versus him, and then ever since then they've gotten worse.
The only Predator I know is when I was in college, Darryl gave me Batman versus the Predator.
Yeah, that's good too.
Wait, how many times has the Predator fought random?
A bunch of times.
If we did just Predator or Alien versus anything, we could just do that for the rest of our podcast. Like, we seriously could. There's Predator versus like Superman, Alien versus like Wildstorm, like all this weird
That's
shit.
why I like it. That he can fight like people like Superman and then Archie. Like people will find ways to write both.
There's no way they can make him fight Superman.
I don't think he fought Superman, but Alien fought Superman, and Terminator fought Superman too. I know that.
Batman fought Alien too. I like that. I think he fought him twice. I think there's a Batman vs Aliens too.
There is, because Darryl, in that same birthday gift with Batman vs. Predator, Darryl gave me Batman vs. Alien 2, and having never seen an Alien movie or read the first one, I was like, what's going on?
Oh, Ryan.
Wait, so you haven't seen Alien or Predator?
I like how Ryan's only experience to Alien or Predator is weird tie-in comics.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, they're classic movies.
Yeah, Alien is so good.
It's like I should host a comic book podcast instead of a movie podcast, right, Sly?
Or maybe you should be a fully rounded human being and actually this is utter media piece of shit.
You're not full. Sly's a Renaissance man because he's seen Alien and Predator.
And he grew up on Archie.
They're pretty classic, though. I mean,
yeah, that is true. They're like classic 80s. Yeah. Well, not.
They're like they're like seeing Terminator. Like you should have seen Terminator.
I have seen Terminator.
Oh,
1, 2,
God.
and 3.
Okay, so you can live, Ryan. We don't have to kill you.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
See this movie if you want to live. Terminator reference.
So we've been talking over Liz, so I think she should do the actual narration.
Wait,
story.
who wrote this first?
I don't fucking know these
It's
guys.
Alex de Campi did the script, and the pencils are Fernando Ruiz.
It's very boring. His name's Alex de Campi because he's such a campy writer.
Not really.
Well, he plays Archie characters up very campy.
The credits page is splattered in blood.
But the way he writes like actual characters is super campy.
Well, that's what's interesting. I didn't know anything about Archie, but I thought it was funny how this book is like so campy 1950s while being hunted by an alien from space.
Yeah.
Like it was an interesting juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So,
Did you want to go through it in page by page what happens?
I don't know. You guys can.
Traditionally, in Divisive Issues' long storied history, the guests will
Or prisoners in this case.
our prisoner does the narration.
When our guests are on the show, they do the work, guys.
Wow.
what? You said that really creepy.
It reads the narration, or it gets the hose again.
I mean, I guess I could. I don't know how to do it.
Just what happens?
You can just breeze through it. You can just go.
No, I thought we were reenacting this. She's gonna
Yeah, you
act
have
out
to
all the characters.
do all the voices. What's your Archie voice? Give it to us.
Where's him? I don't even see him talking anywhere.
Well, we
He doesn't talk his entire comic.
And if you're going to do the narration, you have to be very careful because I yell at everyone for going too fast and too slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have to read like every?
No, you don't. Just say like what happens. Like you just say like the first page is it's spring break. Everyone's bored, and then Cheryl Blossom, this bitchy redhead, shows up and says, "Let's go to a fucking place in South Africa or something."
And as you don't have to add all of the fun, colorful curse words like Slide does.
No, you have to. That's part of the job.
Slide tells us stories, and he's like, and then the Hulk's like, "Fuck you, assholes."
Whenever Phil does narration, he starts cursing more too. So it's like part of the job description. You have to start saying, "Oh, this guy just said fuck you. This guy just says eat my ass." And so
Yeah, I think characters are always eating each other's asses.
I feel like that's just Sly's colorful dialogue.
I'm like somewhat guilty, but I'm not. I don't think I'm as bad. But
I'm somewhat guilty of eating ass. I'm so sorry, everybody. Let's do this.
All right. So the usual gang is all standing around and they're bored.
what's the usual gang?
It's let's see who's there. It's Veronica, Betty, Jughead, Archie, and then I forget this girl's name.
Valerie, I think.
Yeah, who dates the other token black dude.
Yeah, token black girl dates token black dude.
Yeah.
And just to explain the characters, basically Archie's about Archie, this redhead, trying to choose between two.
America's favorite teen, allegedly.
I would contest that very much.
One of the things I never knew is I thought Archie was about two girls and two guys together. Jughead and Archie and Betty and Veronica. I didn't know that there were like so many other characters involved in the series.
Oh, there's a fucking huge cast. You see after with Archie, you see them all die in gruesome ways. But the main thesis of the story is basically Archie has to choose between. He's a two-timing piece of shit. Has to choose between a black-haired rich girl named Veronica and a blonde-haired, Susie Homemaker kind of
girl next door.
girl next door, girl named Betty.
I actually couldn't believe how much he's not like he's indecisive. He's like, I pick both all the time at the same
Yeah.
He like kisses both.
Well,
Yeah.
he traditionally likes Veronica.
Doesn't the, like, all I really know about Archie is, doesn't the timeline split and he, like, he marries Betty in one and marries Veronica in other series?
I mean, it's comics, so I'd assume that it's probably happened, yeah.
Yes, I don't know.
Archie became like a fucking superhero at one point, so I'm pretty sure something like that's probably happened.
He became a zombie, so he must also be a polygamist.
Archie versus Superman.
Archie versus traditional marriage laws.
Anyway, what's this two-timing POS doing?
Okay, so they're all hanging out and they're just doing their usual. And then Cheryl pulls up in her cool convertible with her brother, and I think that she at one point was also interested in Archie. He's kind of almost like a harem character where a lot of girls really like him and he's just oblivious.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to describe him. Also, Cheryl is pretty much a second Veronica, except she has red hair. I never understood why she existed.
It makes sense
Yep.
too, because Jughead's the loser that isn't like interested in any girls, only there for comedic effect.
Yep, exactly.
One cool thing about Jughead, basically he's just the guy who likes eating a lot. But one thing that's interesting about him is they recently made a canon that he's an asexual, which I find kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That is interesting.
Yeah, they did a big Archie reboot that knowing Sly, it's probably in his recommendations.
Oh, that's crazy.
I have something worth recommending.
That's never a good sign.
But and then they win some luxury beach cruise because Jughead loves potato chips. They got them in the bag. And then
Yeah, like a Willy Wonka golden ticket plot device.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they go to Los Perdidos Resort.
Yep.
And it's like they win this just as Cheryl pulled up and was like, "You guys are so lame. You're not going to go on a cool beach cruise." And then Jughead's like, "Actually, we're going to a beach vacation."
Well, so then they're on the beach and they're all super excited, and Jughead is just hungry as per usual.
I related to Jughead so much in this book.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
You know, actually, I realized without thinking halfway through this, when I was reading it, I read the first two issues and then went to the supermarket and bought a shit ton of food and just ate while I read the rest. And I think it's Jughead.
Great.
And he's like crazed for food. Like he sees mango trees and he's just like, "I gotta go eat those mangoes." Like he's
Yeah, that's what he does. Veronica and Betty are hanging out together in a hotel room, and Reggie's being Reggie, where he's flirting.
But Reggie's like a male chauvinist, egotistical asshole, and he's the best character in Archie.
He's like the Sly of the Archie universe.
yeah, exactly. I love Reggie because he's the only character that beats the shit out of Archie from time to time, so he's the best character by default.
And then it shows in the bar that Jughead is just pigging out and stuffing his face.
He's eating a sundae with his hands.
Yeah,
There's a spoon next to
he
him.
has no control.
yeah, he's an animal.
And then Dilton is like the classic nerd. He's just there purely to be a nerd.
He's the Phil of this comic.
I don't remember any of these characters.
Excuse me, Sly. Say that again.
Dilton's the Phil of this comic.
Fuck you.
Why is he slurping Savlaki at the bar?
Yeah, and he's a fucking guy with a big dong too.
That does sound like me.
You mean his telescope that he uses to see a shooting star?
But it's not a shooting star, is it?
No, it's not a shooting star. It's an alien spaceship.
That's how abruptly they're just like, here you go.
This whole book, like that, what we described happens over the course of 8 pages. Them winning, the next page they're on the island. Next page, like almost next page, the spaceship lands. Like it's like very quick, the pacing of this book.
Yeah.
I have to say the shooting stars page is actually a really cool splash page where they have like the ship landing, and it says "When you wish upon a star," and each of the characters are wishing for something.
And it really sums up everyone's character really well.
Archie wishes for a memorable holiday. Jughead wishes for an all-you-can-eat buffet. Betty wishes for Archie. Veronica wishes for flawless victory.
She's the more comic character.
What's this asshole's name again?
Reggie.
Reggie.
Wishes for third base.
Sly
wishes for third base. And then Cheryl wishes for death to the proletariat.
You know what else I read any Cheryl Blossom comics? I don't remember if she was this and super capitalistic.
Gee, I think they bumped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The Cheryl comes over and and then Veronica's like, let's have a contest.
Yeah, like a dressing contest to see who's best dressed.
It's like a bikini contest or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're not in like straight bikinis. They're in more fashionable clothes.
Yep. And they're all being goofy, and Betty's like, this isn't really my thing, because she's the girl next door. And then Cheryl tries and loops her into some evil plot to make her get dressed up super nice so that...
She wins, not Veronica.
Yep.
Yeah, she's like, Archie will love you if you look pretty, because that's really what he's looking for.
Which is true, which is accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's wearing some crazy zebra stripe rainbow outfit, which it gets all 10s.
Well, Archie crosses out his 10 and puts down an 11. And one guy's holding a 7 upside
That's
down.
Moose. He's not too bright.
Moose is like the idiot jock of the group.
There's so many characters. Jesus.
You have to really know the lore of Archie to get into this book. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and there's like that nerd girl who's like before is like set phasers to stunning, and I'm like, who the fuck are you?
I
Like,
can't believe that out of all the books we do, that we do these superhero books that are these big crossovers like Civil War, and the hardest one for me to pierce all these characters is Archie.
This is how I feel normally with every other, like...
yeah, it's because your background knowledge is
Yeah.
for those comics.
I guess.
Here's Hypno Hustler!
I wish Hypno Hustler was in this.
I think I wish Hypno Hustler was in every book.
Yeah.
I don't.
So Archie was like, "Oh, Veronica, you're the hottest." Now he turns to Betty after seeing her zebra outfit, saying, "Now you're the hottest." And then Veronica starts crying and says, "How could you do this to me?" And she finds out Cheryl gave her the dress, and she goes, and Veronica says, "You traitor! You're no friend at all," to Betty, and tries to kill her, I guess.
She leaps at her.
We've also been leaving out the fact that throughout the comics so far, since the spaceship landed, we see like sometimes thermal vision frames of the same scene. So like while they're fighting, it's them like cat fighting, and then you see like this thermal image of them, which
But like also emojis are there.
yeah, that's the great thing is like it's if you've seen Predator, you know like that's how they see, but then there's literally emojis like
Well, it's 2015. You can't do anything without emojis.
Yeah, like the Emoji Bible, like the Emoji Shakespeare books.
well they have a plot reason for him using emojis later, you know.
I don't remember that, so I'm excited to find out.
I forgot the entire book, even though I just read it.
I read it last week.
Yeah.
And so he's watching them as they're fighting. And then Archie tries to stop them, and he bumps into them and just kisses Veronica on the beach.
Wait, first he makes Veronica bump into Betty and break her nose, and then while Betty,
This is the thing that I was like, what? Because Betty's like dripping blood and crying, and I'm like, that's unexpectedly
It's
graphic.
in the same frame he's kissing Veronica on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's easily taken in.
She's easily broken, I guess.
they break Betty's nose together, and then they start making out while Betty cries and runs away.
And he was just picking Betty over Veronica like 2 seconds ago.
And classic Sly, when Betty runs away bloody, Reggie goes, best morning ever!
So Betty runs off into the woods, bloody nose, her outfit's all torn and ripped, and then we cut to Predator vision, and we see, what's her name? Cheryl?
Yep,
Yeah,
Cheryl.
Cheryl and her brother.
And her brother cutting through the woods.
With like a machete.
Yeah, well, they're going through the jungle. It's like, whatever. You gotta do
But
that.
like, they're supposed to be like fun hip teens. Like, don't worry, I can traverse this jungle.
Well, they're rich, so they have like training. You know, they've been to a lot of.
Oh, okay.
That's how that
Yeah,
works.
don't you know Archie?
I guess that's what you get when you're part of the bourgeois.
Yeah, and they find this like jaguar temple.
Betty does.
And Betty finds a jaguar temple, and she's like, "Wow, if Cheryl and her brother stole anything here, I'm going to report them to NATO." But they have. I found this cool dagger that's like
It's like a black
Yeah.
dagger with like a cheetah head on
it looks like obsidian or something.
Yeah.
And she calls Jaguar Vengeance.
Jagger Vengeance.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger, come to me.
By the
Jaguar-
power of Mick Jagger, I have the power!
Jaguar Vengeance on Cheryl and Veronica. And basically she's like trying to summon an ancient curse on them while she takes this like what's the word I'm looking for? Obsidian dagger.
Yeah.
Dragon glass.
Yeah, and
So everyone's looking for Betty now while she's in this temple. And this is one joke I like. Kevin Kline, the gay guy, sees, because like we said, Betty's costume was torn up while she's running through the woods. She find shredded on a branch, covered blood, and the gay character Kevin Kline says, "Oh no, this is polyester."
Yeah, there's a lot of like fashion jokes in here.
there's jokes that are pretty funny sometimes. I felt like The comic was weird to read for me in general, but then they'd have jokes like that I'm like, this is actually really funny.
I really enjoyed it.
I by and large didn't, because
Okay.
but there are a few jokes I liked in it. I'll get into why I didn't like it at the end, because I'm not mad at this like I was with Rain. Mainly because I read Rain right after I read this, and that made me realize maybe this isn't so bad. But we'll get into my faults of it.
Your faults. We can get into that for a whole nother episode. So let's just save that.
So now after he makes a polyester joke, from the trees, there's like gallons of blood dripping on everybody, and nobody like notices.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's like dripping on their bodies and their hair and everything.
That's what's kind of comedic about the whole thing. Is like for a long time they don't know about Predator, and they don't even know like what to do. Like they're all kind of incompetent, and Predator's just killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we see bodies, like headless, gored out bodies
Of Cheryl and Jason.
Yeah, of Cheryl and Jason hanging from the tree with the Predator.
And in classic Predator fashion, he rips out their skull and spine and has them as trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so, like, the art is so, like, gritty next to, like, Archie in classic Archie style. And I kind of really like the juxtaposition a lot, but it is, like, at first I was like, what? Like, what?
And just to clarify, so, like they said, Cheryl Blossom and her brother are dead, now the spine's ripped out. And Predator's directly over Archie, holding their corpses as they're bleeding on top of the Archie characters, and none of them notice.
Haha, teens, right, guys?
I know the response for all these characters is supposed to just be funny, like the way they act in this world. But like to me, it felt like if the cast from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was here, like, like the fact that they're all being shitheads basically, and just completely oblivious to the world around them, and it's like kind of funny sometimes.
I want to raise this question to Liz: Is this in character for them to be like so blasé about like these hijinks?
I feel like it might be a little bit bumped up. Yeah, I think that it's kind of making like tongue in cheek because it's a little too much.
Yeah, it's like blood's pouring on them.
Yeah, I mean they're not the smartest,
but it's not. Is it not that far of a?
Yeah, I'd say it's not too far. Like they're just goofy teens that have good.
That's actually my fault of it. Is I think this is too far. Like it feels more like a bad parody of somebody who doesn't like Archie writing Archie to me, rather than an Archie comic, which I think would have been more interesting if they kept like.
If they had Archie writers,
I think it would be too real if they were freaking out about it.
There's some points in the next two books where it's like, oh, this is getting really dark.
Yeah, but like it just makes it weird to just make him be largely annoying.
I preferred them just getting like picked off and being like dumb and oblivious to this.
Yeah, I'm on Darryl's side here.
This is why I hate a lot of horror movies, and this is why Predator was better than most horror movies, because you present the cast of characters that are actually interesting and diverse, and have them get picked off so you feel sad when they die, rather than make them assholes and jokes. So that way you just want them to die as fast as possible to end the book, which is how I felt reading this.
I have to say that this made me not want to ever read Archie.
Yeah.
I was like, these characters are all terrible, annoying people. Like, I'm to be fair, I felt
we got one that's just like Phil, one that's just like Sly.
And when we hate them, we hate ourselves.
I mean, to be fair, I felt the same way the first time I watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So like, it could be if I got to know them more.
I don't think that Archie is going for the same thing that Always Sunny is.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, Archie's supposed to be like a very wholesome, all family friendly, all ages kind of thing. It's Always Sunny. It's supposed to be like this bunch of assholes being mean to people and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's what this book was.
I know, but that's why I find it bad. Like you're making them be like horror movie annoying cliches where you just want to see them all die. So like this isn't a good way to advertise Archie to me.
That can be kind of fun too.
Why don't we save that till we finish it?
Yeah, okay, we can save our judgments for later.
Yeah.
To finish off the issue, their vacation's over, and they're like, whatever. She brings the dagger with her accidentally. Betty does. Sorry.
Yeah.
Betty brings the obsidian dagger with her accidentally. It somehow just appeared in her bag. And they go back home to their town, wherever that is. Riverdale. And the last thing we see is them at the diner, which I assume is like their iconic, like...
Yeah, that's their hangout spot.
Their hangout spot.
Yeah, Pop's Chocolate Shop.
And the last thing we see is Veronica's face in thermal vision and the emoji for a dead person and the emoji for gun.
And he has his the triangle target on her. Whichever knows
Yeah.
it's the shoulder
Yeah.
cannon, he shoots the big laser that blows people up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we get the next issue, and it's Predator hiding under the counter at the shop, and Betty, Veronica, and Archie like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
And there's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And Predator looks very devious.
But he's not hiding very well. He's just kind of right out there.
So, yeah. Issue 2. Back in Riverdale, safe and sound.
And so they're back at a Pop's chocolate shop. They're eating stuff. And just to go back into how oblivious they are, they have the laser sighting on Veronica's shoulder, and no one notices it.
I like how obvious it is, because you're
Yeah.
not supposed to see like laser beams, but they just draw it in here.
It's 3 laser targets.
Yeah, it looks like Psycho's optic blasts. It's like visibly drawn on the page. By that I mean, it's not like you see the red dots on her shoulder subtly in the background.
It's like she's even like glowing, like as if it's like a got punched effect.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty bright.
yeah, and so
Predator is targeting Veronica because she's holding like a knife because she's cutting her food with it.
Yeah.
And then Pops comes over with a big like
welcome home cake.
yeah. And Predator always like targets people that might be a threat because he wants to fight like dangerous hunters.
Would you call them predators? Right, guys?
Good. Podcast over. Bye guys. I've been Predator.
I've been alien.
I've been Pop.
Guys, we can't sign off.
Okay. Shit. They find out immediately, like right now, just as the Pops comes in, that Cheryl and Jason were killed at the resort. And they're like,
Yeah, I like that. And they're just like, oh, that's a bummer. And Jughead's like, I want some cake though.
yeah, it's part of my coping mechanism. I have a note from my doctor.
And then, so Pops is about to cut it with his big knife, and then his head fucking super explodes.
Yeah.
Yep, this very iconic Archie character is just instantly blown away.
I was shocked at how gory this was.
To live and die in a small town.
Like, you see, like, eyeballs and, like, ears and teeth flying all over the place.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't notice that when everyone's screaming, Jughead's still eating.
Yeah, and everyone's covered in blood.
Yeah, he takes the cake, he carries the cake away, and it has Pops' eyeballs on it.
Yeah. He's just so hungry.
And Betty immediately says, I did this. Because she feels like she must have caused a curse when she cursed them.
Yeah. She cursed Veronica and Cheryl
Yeah.
specifically.
The Mick Jagger curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens next?
Who's doing it?
I think Phil was doing a good job.
Okay. All right.
Wait, what, you want to do the rest of it, Phil?
I mean, if I'm doing a good job, might as well, right? Right? I'm doing such a great fucking job.
Why were you getting mad when I complimented you?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's what happens when you become a narrator, you become sly.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, they call 911. They run into the back room, and they're like, "We can't leave until the police show up." And then Betty and Veronica.
Oh, wait, one thing that I thought was really fun, the flashback that Betty has, where she's like, it's revealed that she does all these like voodoo things secretly. Is that a thing that Betty does?
Because they're going to Sabrina Teenage Witch, and they say, like, how do you know Sabrina? How do you know about her voodoo books? And they cut to this scene with Betty. What is
Yeah,
it?
and it's Betty stabbing a Veronica doll, holding a bag of money.
While crying.
Yeah, like a voodoo doll, like stabbing it with scissors. And meanwhile, modern day Betty is like pulling back a curtain, and she's like, no reason at all. And
That was not a good joke.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good joke.
That's pretty funny. And they say, like, while they're in this like back room hiding from the killer and waiting for the police, Betty's like, "We gotta go to the bathroom," and she brings Veronica to go meet
They're
Sabrina.
also covered in blood.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
only Veronica. She's mostly covered in blood.
Yeah.
That's an ongoing joke.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty has some on her like shoulders and
But
chest.
Veronica will outpace Betty pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then they go to Sabrina because she's like, "I put a jaguar curse on you." Betty says this to Veronica, so we have to go, fix that.
Here's one thing I find weird about this book, which I find, because like they go with the campy 50s style, but when they go to Sabrina, she's not 50s campy Sabrina. She's drawn like modern day creepy Sabrina, the dark revisionist, rebooted Sabrina, and I find that weird to make her be the dark serious character when everyone else is all 50s style.
You're right. That is really
Yeah.
weird in a Predator versus Archie book.
Seriously.
And the police are using modern assault rifles, which wouldn't have existed in the 1950s. So
I know, but this whole entire character is not the familiar one. Because every other character is looks familiar to the art style they've been drawn for 50 years, and all of a sudden Sabrina's the only exception. It just feels weird. Weird decision to do that randomly.
I guess because I don't know anything about anything, I was like, oh, I guess it's just another Archie character.
Me too.
Didn't notice.
You
that.
know Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Well, yeah, I know Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
that's not actually her, is it?
Yes.
Is it?
It is her.
Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
Is this Melissa Joan Hart?
Yes.
Wait,
Sabrina the Teenage Witch is an Archie character.
Yeah, just like Josie and the Pussycats.
no. Are you shitting me?
No. And so, yeah, and like Josie and the Pussycats are too.
What?
Yeah.
You guys are blowing my mind.
You see, you were saying the lore is too complicated? Now we're really showing how deep and complicated it is.
I can't handle all this lore.
I can't believe it. So, okay.
Do you need a minute?
I'm like shocked.
The biggest revelation we've had on the show thus far.
So what happens to Melissa Joan Hart when she puts on like a goose? No, why did I say goose? Like what kind of animal is this skull that she puts on?
Isn't it a goat?
It's like, no.
Definitely
Yeah.
not a
A
goose.
goose?
I've never seen a
Goose.
goose.
I meant to say goat, and then I forgot what a goat was.
She's also reading from the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go to her and she's like, I put a Jaguar curse on her, here's the dagger.
I put a Jagger.
And then she starts quoting obvious, like, Lovecraftian words. Like, she says Yog Shagat.
Yeah, which is
Yep.
Yeah.
She puts on this like goat head, starts chanting, and then Predator jumps through the window and kills Sabrina.
and shatters the obsidian knife
And then there she died, just like Melissa Joan Hart's career.
by having her spine ripped out.
No, she was in a movie recently, guys.
Yeah.
God's Not Dead 2.
Oh my god.
She was pretty good in that.
She was a highlight. She was Phil's favorite part of his favorite movie.
Okay, guys.
Anyway, Sabrina the Teenage Witch gets her head ripped out of her body with her spine attached.
then all the blood squirts onto Veronica.
And then like a torrent, like you know in Exorcist when she vomits blood, all the vomit on
The
people.
pea
Just-
soup.
She vomits, Sly.
Yeah, vomit. But this is like a straight projectile of blood
Yeah.
from her head right to Veronica.
Well, her cat gets blown up too, fairly
Yeah.
gorily.
Yeah,
Considering-
That was the most upsetting part of this book to me.
Rip Salem, the talking cat.
Yeah.
I always got that cat confused with the cat from Hocus Pocus. They're like the same thing, right?
I don't even know what Hocus Pocus is.
The
What?
movie.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, whatever.
It's like Predator level of classic Sly.
Yeah, you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, and you're yelling at me for not seeing Predator.
Okay, so she gets sprayed in blood, or Veronica does, and then they go through Sabrina's wardrobe to find something cute.
Yeah, Predator he just vanishes. They don't even show him leave. He's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go look through her wardrobe and they're like, this is cute. And then they find a picture. They took a picture on their smartphone of Predator, and they're like, we're being hunted by ninjas with terrible hairdos.
Oh, I like the joke of Veronica going through the wardrobe, and as she's like moving all the clothes aside, she's going weird, until she finds the one she
She's
likes.
like, oh, cute.
Like even with Sabrina dead right next to her, she's still criticizing her style.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
covered in her blood. She's just like weird.
So ninjas they're being attacked by ninjas, and Veronica starts undressing, and we get to see
she's like, hey viewer, look at my butt.
Yeah, it's pretty sensual.
This is the most TNA Archie related stuff I've seen since Stan DeCarlo did porn. So
She's just gonna drop that in there, okay?
yeah. I was expecting more reaction, but you guys didn't say anything. So I'm like, okay, I guess move on.
Well, I think we all, aside from Liz, we know so little about Archie that like we don't know what's a joke or not.
Well, I mean, they've never like changed in front of each other, covered in their friend's blood before. So
That's a specific thing.
But they have changed it from each other. That's been done several times.
has it?
Yeah.
Sly's like the Mr. Skin of Archie.
What's Mr. Skin?
It's a website that you go on when you're 13 and want to find out what movies have nude scenes in them.
Oh, I need to find this website.
Okay. It's a site when you're 26 and you're like, I want to find nudes in movies. So Veronica is like, there's no such thing as a curse. This can't be real. And then they're undressing, and then the dagger that's shattered on the floor, the obsidian dagger, reassembles itself. It like melds back into its original shape. And they go meet up with
All the other characters.
Archie and the crew. We missed the fact that the police showed up and secured the perimeter of Pop's shop before.
Chocolate shop. Get it
Pop's
right, Phil.
Chocolate shop, whatever.
It's not even spelled chocolate like chocolate. It's chalk lit, like L-I-T, chocolate chop.
Like this party's lit, right?
Is that a joke? I don't know. Is Sabrina Teenage Witch really in this? I can't tell. I can't get over it.
So they meet up with Kevin's dad, who's a part of the military.
And he loves word bubbles, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to exposition dump the Predator's, like, his backstory.
But it's like, oh my god.
It's hard to follow. Like, I got lost in word. I literally got lost in word bubbles. Like, I couldn't tell where it was leading to. Like, I couldn't tell who was talking at what point. Like, I was like, because the character interrupts saying Predator, lamest name ever, and I'm not sure when in the conversation that's interrupting, because it goes to another bubble. His conversation talks so long, it's hard to explain. It's just a maze of bubbles. Yeah. This guy talking,
and it even goes in between panels.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's got a lot to say.
I just it's another kind of weird thing. Like, I know that we've been saying, like, this book doesn't try to be like it doesn't try to make sense at all. It's just a weird series of events when this general, he's a general, he's not just like a soldier.
Yeah,
he shows up to talk to the Archie cast about
to help kill this predator.
Yeah, predators and how to fight them, and then Moose is like, I brought a water gun.
He says, I brought my daddy's gun and it's a water gun. And
Yeah.
Moose is stupid. I don't think he's that stupid to be like, I'm going to bring a water gun to fight a predator.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah, and also then
It's cannon fly. Eat your heart out.
and then the general is like, I'm going to teach these little kids to fight. So he brings a bunch of guns, and he's like, here's the plan. We're going to have someone be the bait and pretend to be Veronica. But it's such a stupid scene because it's just like, they're like, okay, we're going to have him pretend to be Veronica, whoever, I forget who he's even pretending. Jughead.
How do you think I like Jughead?
Jughead.
He's pretending to be Veronica, and they're just, the rest of the team.
Jughead's the only one wearing a crown, Phil. You should know this.
Shit. And
Wait, Liz, what does the S on his shirt stand for?
I don't know.
That's a good fucking question.
That's good trivia.
I thought that would be like a common thing. I guess.
Yeah, I thought we had a real resident Archie expert here, but instead we have a resident Archie amateur. Okay.
Yeah.
It's still way more than us.
Phil, do you need a nap?
I really do. Today was really trying, I will say.
Okay, so the general gives all the Archie guys like AK-47s.
Yeah.
They're M16s, right?
Yeah.
I thought they have banana clips. Doesn't that make them an AK-47 if they have banana
Yeah,
clips?
I don't think any of us know enough about arms.
I don't. Really.
And then they even say safety's right there, Rambo. Don't they use AKs in Rambo? I don't know, I've never seen it.
No?
How have you not seen these action movies?
Like, are you like a cultural shut-in? Do you like never watch movies?
He's just been watching Hocus Pocus over again.
So they get big guns.
And this plan is, we're gonna have Jughead stand in the middle of the street pretending to be Veronica, and then we're gonna have the rest of the Archie cast hide behind the car right next to it with guns. And what's crazy to me is, like, the general is like, hey, they see in thermal vision. So, like, didn't they realize they would just see them?
But they thought that his thermal vision would be distracted by how hot Jughead looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not, and he blows up the people hiding behind the car.
Yeah, and he murders Moose's girlfriend Midge, and her half her body is ripped apart.
Yeah,
he's holding her ripped torso in his arms.
Really gory. They open up on the predator. There's like bada 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 bada. It's like some of them are taking selfies while this is happening.
Yeah, Reggie is, which might be in character. I would say maybe that one.
That might be a character, but Moose with a water gun, it's too far.
Yeah. And they just all get shot by the predator while they're fighting him. It's like they just kill every character here. Not every, but
except
like
one guy only loses a leg, and then the predator grabs him by the throat.
It's the token black guy, Chuck.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's Chuck.
And he says, "Hey, ugly, your mama said it was your birthday." And then he gets picked up and he says, "So I got you a present." And he pulls the pin on a grenade and holds it up smiling.
And then Predator runs away on fire with lots of emojis. There is apparently a Predator running emoji.
I just realized, this is a bit late, but I just realized on the page where Jughead is standing around looking like Veronica, he's being Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, "What are you waiting for? Kill me!"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's several references. Before Reggie, in one scene, Reggie says, "I'm a sexual transfer," like that's opening scene.
Yeah.
I missed all those references.
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen the movie.
Oh, that
You're
makes
busy
sense.
watching Hocus Pocus.
That makes sense.
Oh, and this is the reference to Bette Midler in Pocus Pocus right here.
Because she has red hair like Predator's flaming hair.
So everyone's dead, and Jughead finds the obsidian knife, and as he's looking at it, the Predator is behind him, staring ominously at him.
I don't know if they established yet, but he basically Predators want to show that they're the best warriors in the galaxy, so they look for people who are armed and kill them.
Yeah.
Like, they don't target unarmed people. That's why throughout the comic earlier on, every time, like, Betty picked up a knife, or, like, Pops picked up that knife to cut the cake, to Predator, I guess, he's a warrior because he has a weapon. So
I think that's a very loose interpretation of that rule from the movie. If you pick up a knife, you're automatically a warrior.
Yeah, like he's cutting a cake. It's like he's ready for combat.
They do explain this one is a teenage Predator.
That's true.
Teenagers are stupid, as evidenced by this comic.
That is kind of like what they're going for, though.
That's what I was saying before about it being like canon. They explain the fact that he's using emojis because he's a teenage Predator. So even on the Predator planet, they use emojis.
Yeah.
Cool bit of trivia.
Yeah.
Don't know what the S stands for on Jughead's shirt, but we know Predators use emojis.
So that's the end of issue 2.
Maybe I need a nap.
Too late to nap.
Yeah.
Darryl stepped. That's good.
What is when you're trying to nap at 9 p.m.?
Okay, I need to tell this story. Darryl used to yell at me because I would take naps at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's not a nap at that point.
And then I'd get up at like 3 and I'd be like, gotta read more comics.
Yeah, to preface this, our lifestyle during this time was Darryl and I playing games until 5 a.m. So Ryan taking a nap at 12 or 1 to stay up till 5 was like, he, in his mind, was like, this is normal.
And in Darryl's mind, it was a travesty. So, issue 3 has my favorite cover. It's a really happy, smiley Predator sharing a milkshake with a scared Archie and Betty.
If you ever read Archie, one of the most classic covers is Archie, Betty, and Veronica sharing a milkshake. This is that, but instead of Veronica, it's Predator, and Betty and Archie are freaked out.
And it says, more victims, more mutilations, more milkshakes. So, halfway through, how are you feeling about it at this point, Liz?
I was into it. I mean, I was a little surprised by how much murder had already occurred.
Yeah, right?
That pretty much all the classic characters are dead by this point, except like the main core group.
All the characters that you assume Archie is are the only characters left. So all the extra characters are dead.
Yeah.
And Phil.
Phil's still alive.
Why am I Dilton?
Sadly.
How could on this podcast, how could I be the nerdiest one? That's like crazy to me. So we start out with this like wasteland scene of, well, it's like the narration is like Riverdale, the sort of sweet little town where everyone dreams of moving to when they reach a certain age. Victorian houses, each with its own yard, charming boutiques and cafes on Main Street. And while this narration's happening, people are dead on the side of the road.
Yeah.
There are cars overturned and shattered. There's like smoke billowing everywhere. Everything broken. Streetlights leaning. And it's just Jughead walking around dressed as Veronica with the crown, going, Archie, anyone? And he goes to the high school, Riverdale High School, and as he walks through the door, a trap springs on him that he swiftly dodges. And they're like, we got him! We got the Jughead! So I guess these traps were set for Predator. Although, I guess if Jughead and Heels can dodge them, you know.
Yeah. The true Predator.
Yeah.
Predator of hamburgers.
That's true. And because the main Archie cast wasn't there at the ambush. And they're like, what happened? And they're like, they're all dead.
And there's a creepy panel of Dilton in the dark saying, it's too late for that. And I assume he's talking about naps.
Yeah. They're all crying and they're like, all our friends are dead. I'm wearing all that's left of them.
Dilton explains that the entire Riverdale police force, and then in parentheses, both cars, were helping Greendale's cops at a spell home. They went to go see Sabrina's house, and they got turned into goats.
Yep.
Goats?
Deus Ex Goatina.
Is that a thing that I don't even know that's the thing that happens.
It's very throwaway.
I didn't get that scene.
Yeah, he just shows them. It's like, look, it's just goats.
But why?
This is the hill you die on, Sly? This is the one that you're like, this makes no sense.
Yes, it will be. I can't be like, this makes no sense. I hope it makes no sense, so it's all fine, right? Ending's gravy. You can just make more shit, whatever you want. Throw shit against the wall, because that's what Ryan says.
Yeah.
I like how every single episode we use this phrase "hill to die on," and we just we construct these things to fucking scream about that are just like so fucking dumb.
I feel like if Sly had one wish, it would be to have 1,000 lives, so we could have 1,000 hills to die on.
So Phil, aka Dalton, takes him to the AV room, and they see Predator blood pouring from the vents, but nobody notices it. Like you can hear the vent creaking, they can see Predator blood pouring from it, but no one notices or suspects the Predators in the vents.
Yeah, Predator blood is like this day glow green that's really bright and easy to notice.
Well, apparently in this universe, when you bleed like a fucking fountain. So seeing just a little, they probably assume it's not blood.
Apparently in this world, if you bleed, you can kill it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Predator reference.
Oh.
And then they break the fourth wall here a little bit, or what do they say? They lean on the fourth wall because they're not looking at the camera, but they talk about the audio-visual power room, and they're like, that's not what it's called, but AVP is a pretty cool acronym.
Awesome, valuable player, says somebody.
Jughead gets distracted because he sees a vending machine, and he really wants a snack.
And then, because it takes out the obsidian knife to Jimmy open the vending machine, and doing so causes the Predator to kill him off screen.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team find his corpse. His head has been put inside the vending machine.
So
His true heaven.
it's just such a weird scene.
What?
It's such a weird scene. Like, would a Predator do that? I don't know.
No, it wouldn't. Like that's a
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's like his body's gone, but Predator just left his head and face intact.
Which is like what a predator takes most of all.
Yeah, he left the one thing he would not leave.
It's like it's not for a trap either. He just leaves him there.
So does he like collect spines?
Yeah, they go around
Spines.
and they're just like trying to show they're the best warriors. So to do so, you find them, those best warriors, you kill them, and you take their like head as a trophy. It's supposed to be like a scalping type analogy.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you kill a bear, you have the bear on your.
I've never killed a bear slime.
I never killed a person, but I assume this is what it's doing.
I never killed a person. Are you sure about that
What?
slide?
I feel like, you know who says I've never killed a person? People who've killed people.
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite because they said I never killed a person. So unless you say that, you kill a person, obviously. So I'm
You
the
could
only.
be a murderer, but no one's a liar.
Yeah, I'm the only honest one here. So you guys are all, by definition, actual murderers, huh? You see, I got you guys.
Yeah, you got it, Sly.
Maybe Sly's not dying on hills, he's killing on hills.
Or maybe the person he's killed is himself.
Here's another decent joke. As they cry over.
I thought you were about to make a joke.
Let me tell you a joke. That's how you don't tell a joke, you know?
So, Veronica goes to our Jughead's corpse and says, "Oh, Juggy-kuns, I always said that junk food would kill you."
Juggy-kun.
Juggy-kun, senpai.
No, I like the one of Dilton saying, since his head's in the vending machine, he says, I can't help but think Jughead would find the framing appropriate, though.
Yeah, and here's one thing I find weird. Another sign of obliviousness. Dilton's like now monologuing, saying, "Have you ever thought what it's like to be me, Archie? Of course I haven't. To be in the school everyone's dating, and to never be asked." As everyone's right next to him, but no one hears him saying, like, basically, I'm alone and desperate and sad.
Yeah, he's Phil.
Yeah, I thought this was going to lead to something, because he's going on like a long monologue about being alone in a city or a town where everybody's dating, and it's all about dating.
It's just like Phil.
Phil's always like, "I'm so sad and lonely," and just ignore him.
He's like, how am I Dilton? Why am I Dilton? We're like,
Yeah, I'm so lonely, guys. Maybe it's just it's figurative. I'm lonely in my soul or whatever.
Phil, I can basically guarantee that you're sitting right now in a room surrounded by cats, aren't you?
I had only one. No, it's two. Yep.
Yeah. Case closed.
So Phil's a crazy cat guy of this group.
That's true. I won't deny.
And it turns out Dylan's so obsessed with Archie that he made an Archie mech.
Oh yeah, he made an Archie like robot mech suit.
This is where I was like, I did not expect
The Archie bot.
Yeah.
And Dylan's like, "Fear not, Betty and Veronica. Just think of me as Archie for a little while. I will save you from the Predator, and then we will cuddle."
Just like Phil. He's always trying to get me to get inside his mech suit.
Yeah.
But then it turns out his mech is like starts going haywire because he's not a controller, so he's shooting against the wall.
Again, just like Phil, always shoots before you're ready.
So he gets the weapons. He can't get the weapons system online, but then when he does, it marks the friends as the enemies, and then the Predator breaks in. They start fighting, and so they're fighting.
Yeah, it's like 4 pages of just fighting Archie and the Archie bot and Predator.
And then Archie fights the Predator.
Archie gets stabbed.
Yeah, Archie tries to fight him off because Dylan can't with his shitty mech suit. And then finally, Archie gets stabbed in the shoulder, and everyone's like, "Oh no, Archie!" And they're trying to staunch the blood, and they're crying over him. and that's when the mech switches and says, "Now we have to." The mech has lost control of the mech, and now I have to kill you all. But Betty talks him down, saying, "I know you can do it, Dylan. You should have that mech." And Dylan's like, "You're right, I can't." And he turns it off, and when he finishes it, he gets decapitated by Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he like takes off the helmet of it, and he's like, "I turned it off. I am the hero." And we should say that they thought it was safe stupidly because the mech
They put him in a net.
the mech shot like a net web on him and like netted him. So he's like, I saved everyone.
Surprise, surprise! The hunter had a knife to cut through the net.
Another kind of funny joke. Betty calls 911, and they're like, "Emergency, who do you need?" And she says, "Whoever deals with aliens." And then they're like, "Connecting you to Border Patrol now." That's pretty good.
And when we see Dilton get decapitated, this is the first time we see Veronica like actually accept how terrible this all is. She says, "Oh God, we're actually going to die."
Yeah, as if this whole time it's like,
Well, it's 'cause everyone else is dead, so they're the only ones left now.
So, issue 4.
Final issue.
Final issue.
Finally, this madness can end.
final countdown.
The cover is a very scantily clad Betty and Veronica with 2 knives and a torch ready to fight the
I
Predator.
like this cover actually. It reminds me of one of those like pulpy,
Yeah.
Amazon women thing.
Yeah.
It is a really cool cover. And
Yeah.
I think it has the most impressive line work and shading of all the art in this whole book. And the title, Frenemies No More.
The story opens up with the Predator standing over the bleeding Archie, the crying Betty and Veronica, and the Predator takes off his mask, revealing the crab face. And unfortunately, no one says "You're one ugly son of a." But anyway, but they do say see him eat the skin off Dylan's face.
Leaving his glasses on.
Yeah, somehow.
With one goopy eyeball dripping down.
Yeah, so like his skin's off, but his glasses are still on. Because, that's the definitive of Dalton.
I don't know. I just got new glasses like 2 days ago, and they're really tight, and they won't fall off for anything.
Maybe you're the Dalton of the story.
I can't believe we're arguing the mechanics of tearing a face off.
They would fall off if your face went with it.
Yeah, that's what you think. You don't know how much skin I got, Phil.
I do, unfortunately.
I don't know what that means, so I will
don't
not
either.
respond to
We're
it.
talking about butt flaps, right?
So Veronica is like, "Go away, leave my friends alone. What did we ever do to you?" The Predator looks confused and says, "Betty," like he's the Hulk or something. And he walks out, and Veronica says, "I'm Veronica, you twerp." Then Betty wakes up in Veronica's bedroom, and they have pictures of different eras of Betty and Veronica.
I like Commissioner Gordon to the left.
Yeah, me too. That is.
No, that's her dad. That's Veronica's dad, Commissioner Gordon.
There is a Josie and the Pussycats here.
Yeah, and also Punisher is in here too.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Oh my God, he is.
To commemorate when they met the Punisher, which is a way better comic than this, by the way. Read that instead.
Now we know what your recommendation is.
I bet it's not. I bet I know what his recommendation is.
We'll see. Make your bets, folks. Make your bets.
Everyone write it down on a piece of paper.
Call in at 845. Whatever.
You guessed the rest of the numbers.
If you can guess the number and guess the recommendation, you'll win an all-exclusive trip
With Sly.
to the Divisive Issues studio.
Which is my bedroom.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
And you can join Darryl and Liz right here.
If you can guess my phone number, Sly's gonna fuck you.
Is that a reward or a punishment?
Why would it be a reward?
Nobody guess! It's a trap!
So yeah, so Betty wakes up and Veronica reveals that they stuffed the knife, and they say the knife won't go away until because he cursed 2 people with it, so we have to kill somebody else with it.
I love how B plot the magic knife is.
Yeah, it's really weird that they're all serious about this knife plot, that they really believe in it, and I'm like, isn't the Predator more dangerous? But
I also think it's interesting that in all the other issues, everyone was dying around Betty and Veronica, and they were just trying on outfits or laughing. And as soon as Archie is stabbed in the shoulder for 8 pages, they've been very concerned that he's dying.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing they care about, Archie, pretty much.
Do Betty and Veronica have characters outside of We Love Archie?
Usually yes, not in this
I
book.
was asking Liz, Sly.
Veronica's a rich preppy girl, and Betty's just a nice, fun, sporty girl. There's not a lot of depth in Archie. It's not the place you go to for...
Not for place you go to for nuanced character development.
Would you guys say I'm more Betty or Veronica then?
You?
Oh, definitely Veronica. You're a bitch.
Me? I'm Veronica?
Yeah.
I would have said Betty, but...
What about me?
Oh, you're a sweetheart. You're Betty for sure.
Yes.
Ryan? No, you're
This is
Cheryl.
the only time he's been nice to Ryan.
In their whole friendship.
Seriously, I'm not exaggerating.
If Phil and I are Betty and Veronica, Darryl's definitely Archie.
No, I'm Predator.
Sexual predator.
Oh, my secret.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. So they're like, we have to avenge Archie, and Veronica's like, oh, my house can self-destruct, so we'll blow up the house with Predator inside.
And they have a panic room, and apparently when you use the number pad to get in, it makes a sound effect dip doop doop, which is my favorite sound effect in this whole book.
And they basically revealed the device from, if you saw the movie Prometheus, the device is just a self-surgery device. And
I've seen Prometheus.
Hey, good job.
I haven't. I'm lying. I
love Prometheus.
oh, fuck you!
I love that movie.
Oh, that's our next divisive issue.
Are you fucking trolling me? Are you trolling me?
Yeah, of course I'm trolling you. I haven't seen it. I just know you hate it so much that I'm like, every time I get the chance, I'm like, Prometheus is cool.
We okay, never mind. If you saw that shit movie, you know the shitty contraption, and basically self-heals you, and they usually try to self-heal Archie, but they put everything to max, and basically turns into the Hulk afterwards.
Yeah, it's like patient dying, and then they're like, put it to 11, and then they remember there's a note that's like, never put it to 11, or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, he becomes like a cancerous growth for a minute, and then becomes the Hulk.
You really, for a second, it looks like Hulk from Ruins.
Ruins, yeah.
Then he becomes regular Hulk. And now we get to see more of Betty undressing for no reason. And then...
This dialogue from Betty. Veronica, are you sure the Predator's here? And Veronica goes, I've never been so sure of anything in my life. Why?
And she opens the door, and the Predator's right behind the door. And she opens her machine gun at him.
SMG, Sly.
What kind of gun is it, Phil? What kind of gun is it, Phil?
It's an Uzi, asshole.
Okay.
An Uzi in my jacuzzi, but...
Podcast over. I've been Predator.
Oh, here's the reference you guys wanted. When Betty sees Predator, she says, ugh, you are one ugly melon farmer.
Betty's wearing a regal dress, and then when the combat starts, she rips it automatically, because obviously it's not practical for fighting a fucking Predator.
Also, I love how they told them earlier they want to fight people with weapons, and they're like, what can we do to stop him? We get weapons and fight him. It's like, you're not going to win.
They think they might.
Yeah. So then Hulk Archie shows up, and he starts being
Wait, before that, I actually like this joke a lot. Predator grabs at Betty and pulls her lucky hair scrunchie off and puts it on. So now when Predator's chasing them, he has long hair in a pink scrunchie.
Yeah, because he seems like he has this weird like crush on them too.
Yeah, I think it's very blatant that he has a crush on them.
Yeah.
When Archie shows up as the big Hulk Archie, Predator's going to grab Veronica, and then he grabs him, and they're doing the bicep handshake.
Oh
that,
yeah, in the opening
Arnold
of Predator, they do an arm wrestle thing.
It's not an arm wrestle. They do like a hand grab.
But they basically arm wrestle because Arnold overpowers Apollo.
Don't spoil.
Spoil the fucking first 5 minutes.
Some of us haven't seen it.
Whatever.
I wasn't listening at all, so
I didn't realize how much of this book was paying tribute to the original Predator.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't either, honestly. I missed a lot of these.
I caught all of them.
Bette Midler.
Predator grabs a mace, Archie grabs a battle axe, and
the emojis are angry face, knife, knife.
Yeah, and they fight, and they fight, more fighting, until Veronica tries to stab him with the obsidian knife from behind.
Because she says, if we need to take a life with this, I can end 2 curses with 1, because I'll get rid of Predator and get rid of the Jaguar curse.
But she gets stabbed by Predator, but then he realizes what he's done. He's like,
And he looks really sad.
run! And Archie punches in the back of the head while crying. And I just want to clarify, whenever they cry, it's like very cartoonish Archie crying, so it doesn't look serious at all. It just looks like cartoon characters like crying, not like real remorse or anything like that.
Wow.
Yes,
I stare into their lifeless eyes.
It's not real remorse.
I've
It's
seen
shallow
real
and fake.
remorse.
In the eyes of my victim.
I bet Archie's pretending.
Obviously, guys don't have any real feelings.
So we had Spoil and Sly, we had whatever kind of Sly, now we have Stalk and Sly or serial killers.
Still better than Fascist Phil.
Fuck you.
So then he's about to stab Archie in the face, but Betty comes in with a katana and says, "Not my Archie," and he cuts her arm off.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then like explodes Archie's head immediately.
Wanna kill.
Well, he stabs it right through his knife, fist knives right through his head.
Yep.
And his eyeballs pop out and his head explodes.
And there's just teeth everywhere.
Yeah.
And then it's Betty standing there with one arm saying, "Archie, you killed my Archie! You." And then his emoji is heart eyes face, like love face, this Predator. And then both one-armed Betty and dying Veronica attack him at the same time and stab him with the jaguar knife and bash him in the back of the head with the mace. Yeah. And the curse ends, I guess. Because you see the little jaguar go poof. And they're both laying there in blood and talk about how great Archie was.
Just talk about Archie.
They talk about Archie for a long time.
That's how girls are. They always talk about boys.
Yeah.
Even after they just fought off a murderous alien.
Yeah.
And then the Predator goes up to them and says, Betty, go. Hulk smash.
Heart emoji. And because the house is going to blow up. Remember, they rigged it before.
I forgot that. That was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. And it makes a little heart when it explodes. That's weird. But they basically crawl away from the house, and the Predator like holds onto them as they're crawling away.
Yeah, they get into the panic room.
Yeah, and they're in the place with the self-fixing machine, and it turns out they're gonna fix the Predator to look like Archie because he's obsessed with them just like Archie was, and now Predator is now Archie.
I love that.
Yeah, and the last panel is super disturbing because it's like Predator looking terrified and worried as he's turning into a smiling Archie.
Yeah.
And according to Sly, you're seeing his sad, scared eyes turn lifeless and soulless as he turns into an Archie character.
He does look actually soulless as
He does.
Guys, do you know when I read this, I didn't see that last page. I ended off with the house blowing up and them saying "not without my friends," and I thought they just all died.
That would be a better ending than this weird shit.
I was like, wow, that was pretty morbid. Every single person dies. Because the last panels are the pictures of them burning up and then "not without my friends." And I was like, wow, everyone's dead. I never saw the last page.
How do you feel about it now that you saw the great last page film?
I don't know. They're both pretty fucked up. But
Yeah.
I feel like it... I don't know.
All right, so last time on Divisive Issues, we decided to call the new format for the finale. Does this deserve to exist in homage to Fascist Phil?
Fuck you.
But now I said that's too Fascist Phil for me, so I want to change it to do you regret reading this? So first off, Liz, do you regret reading this?
No, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. And it was what I figured it would be, coming from Archie versus Predator.
Yes.
So Ryan, Rowdy Ryan, do you regret reading this?
No, not at all. I'm totally on Liz's side. It's fun. It's like goofy. It's exactly what I expected it to be. And I find the like total tone shifts hilarious. So I really liked it.
Darryl, do you regret reading this?
Nope, they summed it up better than I could.
And Fascist Phil, do you regret reading this?
I do. This book shouldn't exist. No, I don't mean that it shouldn't exist. I don't. I kind of regret reading it though. I didn't really enjoy it enough to spend my time on it, and I mean that in a way like that sounds really mean, but like I didn't dislike this, but it's kind of like when we read like Rain or something else, where I'm like, I kind of wish I just watched or read something else that I really enjoy, because this was like so blah to me that I'm like, the fact that I was having trouble finding things to say throughout it means like I didn't think a lot about this book. I'm like, okay. It's just happening.
I mean, you were in such a rush to put it down, you didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
I'm with Phil. I thought this book was largely boring. I think this like I said, it feels like a really bad Like, if this is a Predator movie, it would be shit, and it kind of was a Predator movie, AVP Requiem, where they go to fucking high school, and everyone's annoying assholes, and everyone hates that movie, so why would we like this?
Wait, there's a Predator movie about them going to a high
No,
school?
it's a Predator movie where AVP Requiem is about them on Earth, and it's about a bunch of annoying high school...
It's the second AVP.
Yeah, it's about a bunch of annoying jocks and bullies and, cliche high school stuff, and everyone hates that movie, so I hate this book, too, because that's a dumb fucking horror trope.
I need to tell everyone out there who's like Ryan, who hasn't seen Alien or Predator, and there's a million of these movies... There's literally just one requirement for both. You watch Predator and you watch Alien and maybe Aliens.
Yeah, you should watch Aliens.
Yeah.
The rest, fuck them. Don't watch them.
Fuck them, as Randall would say.
As Batman would say. So I'm glad we have a guest, because my vote wins now. Fuck you guys.
The guests are not technically real people.
Wow.
So it's still a tie. And Darryl's technically a guest too, so we win. You should Ryan.
What?
This isn't like a number against. We shouldn't be doing like, does this win the regret vote or
No,
not?
it does. It does.
No, we should do it every time I'm right.
And we vote based, by family houses. So Steffens get one vote.
Hey,
Oh no.
we outnumber you.
And obviously the Greek gods with huge dongs get 10 votes.
Yes, exactly. See, Sly knows.
Because I can't disappoint fascist Phil or Overlord.
So like, we were friends last week with Spider-Man. Ray.
I never want censorship. Okay, I never want
I'm
censorship.
just fucking with you.
Are you?
Is this your first time ever talking to Sly? Haven't you known him for like fucking 20 years?
Yeah, kind of.
Do I really know him? I didn't know he was a fucking murderer. I didn't know he kept people in his basement. Do I really know him?
I did know that, actually. I've seen that before.
Oh, okay.
I never told you guys he was a murderer?
Okay, so as we mentioned last week, we are a proud member of the Comrade Radio Network.
We are all Soviets and communists.
Yes, except for fascist Phil.
Yeah,
No, what? You can be fascist and communist if you play your cards right. Look at Stalin.
yeah, exactly.
I didn't think that people wanted him to be fascist, though.
Guys, you...
No one wants.
No one wants a fascist? Oh, look at America.
But it's not true. Yeah, it's not true, actually. People do want fascists.
So I want to mention another show on the network that I only just started listening to about a week or two ago, and I absolutely love it. It's called Classic Schmassic, and with Chris and Owen, and they watch classic movies. So obviously, I've never seen any of the movies they talk about.
I saw Streetcar Named Desire. I saw episode 2, and it was good.
Yeah, I've only listened I've been listening from the beginning, and they do things like Citizen Kane and like Duck Soup, and they're movies that they've never seen before, and they watch them and say like, do they hold up to today's standards? But Chris and Owen are so fucking funny.
Unlike us.
Unlike us.
That's what goes without saying. Anyone's fucking funny compared to us.
Yeah. So I
It's
highly...
like saying, this is bad except for on funnies. When you say this is funny, you have to say...
No, we are not the unfunnies of podcasts.
We're the Unfunnies of podcast. Yes, of course we are.
No, we're not. Okay, we should continue this.
Yeah,
this.
and I highly recommend you check them out, and all the songs, all the shows on the network. And we don't have any letters, but we do have a new review on iTunes that I want to thank Johnny Barnstorm. You probably won't see it because it's only in the Canadian iTunes store. But thank you so much, Johnny.
Shout out to our Canadian listeners.
It's the first review that mentions Sly and Darryl, so welcome to the annals of iTunes. That's the word, right? That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah. Annals?
Yeah.
Definitely annals. Welcome to the sphincter of iTunes. So, as always, please rate, review, subscribe, iTunes, Stitcher, all that. It really does help a lot. And tweet at us, Divisive Issues, one word, or email us, one word, @gmail.com. And also thanks to Tracy, who's been talking to me on Facebook a lot about the show, and it's awesome.
Talking to us, okay? That's our page together. Ryan.
Yeah, you're right.
Any of us could have been responding, even though now we know.
Oh, yeah, are you gonna, Phil, are you gonna respond about Joe Quesada's editorial policies on Spider-Man? Huh, Dick?
I could.
He'll research it and fucking show you up, Ryan.
I'm not even going to research it. I'm just going to make jokes.
I would love to see you guys get more active as admins and have us argue with each other just as comments from the same post.
Guess what? You've made a mistake asking for that, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, it's like asking for man babies on your wall.
We'll save that story for another episode. But write on our Facebook wall if you want to watch us argue with each other about whatever you talked about. And that's all I got.
Same.
Recommendations?
Yeah, that was my... I don't know why Phil said same. I always do this segment.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't have anything to add to that.
All right, so recommendations. Let's go with Ryan first. What's your recommendation? Recommend something.
Okay, I'm going to recommend a new image book, and I'm going to keep it quick because it's really hard to explain. It's called Monstrous. It's by Marjorie Liu, and I don't remember who the artist is, sorry. But the reason why I recommend it is because it's very, very dark and gory and, like, vulgar, but the art style, a lot of the character models are, like, I don't want to say cute, because I feel like that doesn't do it justice, but you know, like anime animals that are like really adorable? It's like that, but in a really fucked up, dark, like really cool magic world. And because it's a volume 1 from Image, the trade's only $10 at cover price. So if you get it on Amazon, it's like $6. I highly recommend it. It's called Monstrous. It's great. It just came out.
Cool. I'm just going to recommend Predator.
Oh, man. Guess what? That's my recommendation.
Yeah, it's like...
If you recommend Alien vs. Predator Requiem instead, Darryl.
No.
If you like the idea of this alien stalking people, like there's better ways to see it.
Yeah, I agree. Darryl and Liz, are you just going to recommend Predator?
Do you have a recommendation?
Can I recommend something not divisive?
Oh, yeah, no, the recommendations are supposed to be good stuff.
Oh, okay, well, that's true.
So it's called a recommendation. Like, you want people to read it. That's the concept of recommendation. The definition is you want other people to see what you've seen, too.
Oh, look at mansplaining Sly over here.
Obviously, recommendations are our fucking woman's issue, right, Ryan?
I'd recommend Unlikely
Because you're always
Jeffrey
recommending
Brown.
them to smile more, right, Sly?
Yeah.
Oh, look, talking over the woman now, huh?
Sorry, Liz.
Just go ahead and recommend it.
Yeah, I'd recommend Unlikely by Jeffrey Brown because it's my favorite graphic novel, and who knows if I'll get to shout out again.
What is it about?
It's about someone's first sort of relationship, and the drawing style is like really
simple.
Yeah, really simple, but it's nice to look at, and I find it super relatable, and I feel like a lot of people would too. About that time in your life.
Let's check it out.
Darryl got it for me for my 20th birthday, and I'll always be grateful because it's amazing.
Like, it's a good one.
I remember it on your shelf. I remember you getting it. I don't think I read it.
Yeah, if you have nostalgia for relationships, that is an excellent book to read.
Yeah, because there's people who don't.
Yeah, Sly.
No, it's not what I meant. Like most people feel nostalgic.
Like third class people like Sly. Fucking,
I meant
Murderers.
guys.
The undermensch in my fascist society.
I meant that people are nostalgic for that stuff always.
Oh, well, some people probably are not. It's the people that are like, screw my exes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people out there that don't care for nostalgia.
All right, so my recommendation is I'm torn between two of them. I'll go with Afterlife with Archie, which is basically
That's what I thought you were going to say. I win! Now you have to fuck me.
yes.
Only
Just get Kaiku.
No, you don't know his number.
So Afterlife of Archie is written by David Aguirre Sacasas, I think. I don't know how to pronounce his
I think
name.
it's Robert.
Robert Aguirre Sacasas. He has a weird Hispanic name. I can't pronounce ever.
Wow.
I forgot that you're the racist one on the show too.
But the artist is Frank Avillo, is one of the best comic artists around. And the story is basically zombie. Basically, Sabrina wants to resurrect the dead. Sabrina, teenage witch, who's in Archie canon. She resurrects the dead.
What?
And that causes zombies to attack Riverdale. And basically, it's a zombie survival horror story. And just like it does, like this is trying to play around with the Archie canon and try to do a serious spin on it with gore and stuff like that. But this, instead of being more campy, I think it does it better by going more serious and showing the severity of what's going on, the real human drama going on, and taking it super seriously. I think that story is way more successful at everything this story is trying to do, and I recommend that instead.
Cool.
I want to thank Liz for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know it's like a trial to be here, like to listen to all of us, but it really does mean a lot to us.
Yeah, it was fun.
And sorry that we're just total pieces of garbage all the time.
She's been living with me. She knows what garbage is.
Yeah.
And thank all you listeners out there. I've been Betty.
I've been Pop's Chocolate Shop.
I've been Pops the Man.
I've been Predator.
Then I've been Jughead.
Stay in continuity.